Not worth living? More like not worth listening. JK. I am so going to make this worth the listen. What's up, you not worth living listeners? This is Jessamyn Violet. I am a lifelong musician and writer. I play drums for the band Movie Club, and I am a writer primarily of fiction. My first book is called Secret Rules to Being a Rockstar, and my forthcoming book is called Venice Peach, out through Maudlin House Press, June 10th, 2025. Mallory likes to call it an anti-beach read, which sounds intriguing, but is also ironic. The book definitely is built for entertainment. There's a lot of robots, clowns, witches, horror, sex. It's a mashup of a lot of genres, just like Venice Beach is, and it's super weird. And I just finished recording and producing the audiobook myself, which was a true test because I think I have a messy voice. I have a messy voice that I had to kind of corral into one cohesive narrator. Yeah, let's just say it was a labor of love. And I think it turned out pretty cool. I'm excited about it. First question, what makes you tick? I would say anything analog. I love doing shit with my hands. I love, music made by humans. I love character. Character that can only be developed by living experiences and reading lots of books and writing lots of journal entries and listening. Would I open an envelope with my death date? I think I surely would. I think knowing that stuff is cool. So yeah, I wouldn't mind knowing when. So I would kind of know when to put the pedal to the full metal because while life does feel short, it also can feel much longer than anyone really ever prepared you for. The first time I remember creating something intentionally was actually in preschool. My mother was teaching at Tufts University, and of course, they had a really plush children's preschool where there were I just remember it to be like a wonderland where they had like crayfish running around in an open tank and, they had all sorts of stations set up. And the weirdest part was they had this cage around the top of the room where the children's developmental psychology students would come and take notes while they observed us playing. It was really wild. But anyway, I remember being at one station and writing a book. I remember vividly the feeling of creating a story. There were multiple pages. I illustrated it and it was finished and I instantly wanted to make another one. Thanks for asking that question to jog that memory. So, parlaying into the next question perfectly, what keeps me motivated is simply the fact that I have been doing what I've been doing for so long. I try to remind myself that this is simply my path and it is a wacky one, but the only things I've ever really cared about were music and books. People, obviously, as well, but that ties in with the writing of fiction. It's all a big character study, really, and I just love it. So, just being immersed in that world every day, no matter how hard the forces that be try to make it, I just say I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to do these impossible things, even when the entire world seems against you continuing on that path. You have to be like a racehorse with blinders on and tell yourself it's worth it. It's worth it to keep going because it has to be. I'm fucking punk rock till the end, DIY till I die. You know what I'm saying? My Boston came in a little bit there, didn't it? Who inspires me at the moment? Right now, I am deep in John Waters land. I have always known his work and admired his work. I used to skip my delinquent alternative high school to go to my friend's house and smoke and watch Polyester and Pink Flamingos. To me, John Waters is punk rock in the best of ways. He has so much heart and so much humor about himself. He's not afraid to make art that mass amounts of people hate. In fact, he laughs about it and he's kind of smug about it. He's also not afraid to make art that mass amounts of people love. And he doesn't feel like a sellout, and he's not a sellout. He loves Baltimore with every fiber of his being. He still lives there. He made all his movies there. He writes about it with such love, and he never got too big for it. He's just still such a sharp, witty, funny guy in person. He does his shows religiously, his one-man shows. He doesn't care. He laughs about the fact that he kind of failed himself out of the movie business. He is not afraid to be both dysfunctional and functional at the same time. And I think that that is something that is a very rare quality. And I think he's a national fucking treasure. What's my latest project? I have many things on the boiler right now. I'm about to shoot a music video tomorrow. I'm directing it. My bandmate and husband, Vince Cuneo, is the star. We are doing a release of several singles leading up to our big book band tour coming up in June. Going from the kickoff of my book release in Venice up to Seattle and back. Anyway, we are doing a few music videos. And the thing about music videos is it's a great time making a music video, and it's just hard to these days. There's no return financially. So it's really hard to get people to invest money in the process. That also collides with the fact that freelancers are hurting right now, and it's really hard to find a DP that will do it for an affordable rate. And sometimes that's the most frustrating thing about being a musician is that you're expected to create all this content and everyone gets paid except you for creating the content. It is such a bummer because I can only imagine what kind of colorful world it would be if artists were allowed to actually make a living off of all the content they create. That being said, the point is, we are shooting our own music videos this time. We are taking it into our own hands. We bought a little gimbal for our iPhones. We are taking inspiration from Grindhouse, the Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino smash box hit in the early 2000s. I don't know how well it did actually, but I remember loving it at the theater. We recently revisited Planet Terror and Death Proof. And so we are flipping. So I'm directing the first one and Vince is in it. And then the second music video, Vince is directing and I'm in it. And that is gonna be a fun time. So I'm shooting tomorrow. Vince is gonna be a fucked up clown on Venice Beach, just having a wacky day. And then I guess Vince has a whole kind of Kill Bill inspired shoot planned for me. And he's getting like a classic car, and I'm gonna be wearing all black, and it's for our song Black Mamba. So that's the project I'm currently caught up in. And to further the reference, we shot a book trailer for my book, Venice Peach, here in Venice. That's going to be at the top of this package we are dropping, which is going to be basically the book trailer and then our two music videos back to back, like the full Grindhouse package. So we're really excited about that. And it's a lot of work. Also going to be a lot of fun to have that piece of art that lives on forever. If money was no object, what would be your dream project? I would say right now, my dream project is a compound in Italy, probably northern Italy, where the wine is the best. And I would want it to have rooms for us and for other artists who need spaces to slow down, recording studio, and attached cafe slash coffee shop. So it would all kind of just be there. And I just am ready for the slowed down Italian lifestyle. I know I know people like romanticize it, but I am 50% Italian and I've been practicing speaking Italian for a while, and we would call the compound troppo dopo, and it would be so dopo. So, any investors, get at me. Is there a quote or a motto that you work by? There have been many along the way. The current motto is art is what you can get away with, because you really have to push to get places these days. You really have to think outside the box to get any sort of effect going. You're competing with the landslide of the world. Would I be friends with myself? I tell myself I would. You never know in actuality. If you met someone exactly like you, you'd probably feel a little differently than when it's hypothetical. But theoretically, yes, I'd be best friends with myself because I'm loyal as fuck. What do I do differently from other people? I try to do a lot differently from other people because that is how you maintain some sense of originality. On the surface, what I do differently from other people, I drive a stick shift car. I read a lot. Oh, and the last thing is anything that I need, I try to just learn how to be or do myself. Anything you think you need, just figure it out. Do it yourself. Wear all the hats. Be a fragment. You'll still be better off than relying on someone else. And finally, what would you like your epitaph to say? A true Renaissance woman in a truly fucked time. All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for having me, Ira. You can stay in touch at jessamynviolet.com. Remember, art is a form of resistance, so no matter how fucked it gets out there, I hope you keep making art. I hope to see you out there killing it, sweating those bloody artist tears until the bitter end.